Hi, it's Dwyer. It is May 26, 2023. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, this video is an homage to Sam Zell, the great distressed real estate investor who recently passed. His philosophy was you want to take advantage of opportunities that look like they're long shots that you realize might not quite be as long a shot as others. Right now, this is after Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I believe gamblers with a high risk tolerance should consider taking the Boston Celtics at a plus 294 to win the NBA Finals. Right, folks? It doesn't matter whether or not I think Boston wins the NBA Finals. What you need to realize is that if Boston, the 2 seed in the East, makes the NBA Finals, they would have the home court advantage over the Denver Nuggets. Right? Boston had a better regular season record. Understand, there is an open question in these NBA playoffs on whether anyone can beat Denver in Denver. Right? Denver, great home record during the regular season. Right? Miami would have to win a game in Denver to beat Denver in an NBA series, because Denver would have home court in that series. Boston would not have to. Understand, too, that the Celtics, who did start the Miami Heat series down 3-0, they had the best net ratings. Look at offensive rating, look at defensive rating, look at them together. They had the best net ratings in the National Basketball Association. Let's not forget, too, as good as Miami has looked, Miami is an 8th seed, right? When they throw out that figure of, no team has come back from down 3 games, a 0-150 or something like that record, ask yourself, how many of the winners of those series were 8th seeds? Right? Let's make the historical analogy match. Miami's an 8th seed. This is not as if Boston is playing a team that was in the top half of the Eastern Conference's playoff teams. Understand, too, and it's a cultural thing, Boston was down 2-3, and they were on the road in their last series against the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the public narrative for that series is that Joel Embiid and James Harden just weren't gamers when it mattered the most. But understand, in that series, Boston won Game 6 on the road and then closed out the series with a dominant Game 7 performance at home. Right? So Boston knows coming back from this exact scenario is possible because they've just done it. In other words, the locker room isn't beaten down and thinking, we were down 0-3 and, can we come back? We would have to win on, Miami's home court. Folks, they just won a Game 6 and a Game 7 in their prior series. Let's also talk about reversion to the mean. Right? Sometimes you have a Bob Beamon day. Right? He's the guy who famously jumped, more than a foot past the existing world record in the long jump at the 1968 Olympics. Right? Biggest stage, longest jump up until that part in recorded history. Well, just understand, Miami, they're not the best 3-point shooting team. Look at the season numbers. But yet, in game one, the Miami Heat hit 51% of their threes. Folks, that's preposterous, right? That's way outside the mean. That's unusual. But then, of course, you get to game three. And in game three, Miami hit 54% of their threes. Right, folks? That's way outside the standard deviation. Right? I think the Boston Celtics understand that there's going to be some reversion to the mean here. That Miami, as good as Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famer, head coach Eric Spoelstra is, as good as Jimmy Butler is, and he had a great year, right? Miami's outperforming itself. I believe Miami reverts to the mean. So right here, I'm sprinkling some money on Boston, plus 294 to win the NBA Finals. Understand, this hinges a great deal on Game 6, which Boston would have to win on the road. But if Boston wins on the road, and all we're looking at is a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals at home with a team that, by the way, made the NBA Finals last year. We're up 2-1 on the Golden State Warriors. Right? In other words, the team has a culture of winning. The team was just in the NBA Finals. And as I said earlier, the team just won a Game 6 and a Game 7 to win a series. If Boston wins this Game 6 against Miami, I'd be in the catbird seat because I would have a plus 294 with a home game for Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and with, if Boston delivers, home court advantage for the NBA Finals. Look at your own betting history and ask yourself, how often have I gotten a plus 294 on a team with home court advantage in the NBA Finals? Right? Let's also talk about another elephant in the room. Right? Now, I love Denver. Denver might well be the best team in the NBA this year. Right? They blew out, swept the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Now, I like a rested team, but I don't like a too well-rested team. How many days is Denver going to have been off before Game 1 of the NBA Finals? Right? There's a possibility, folks, that Denver's off so long that they're out of sync and rusty when Game 1 starts. Now, that's okay if they're playing at home. The fans will lift them. Understand, this will be Denver's first time in the NBA Finals. Right? The fans will lift them. I'm guessing Denver's going to have some long-time Denver Nuggets at the game. Right? Because this is that kind of moment. The team has arrived. So even if Denver is a little bit out of sync, they'll be able to get back in sync against the Miami Heat at home, right? Well, what happens if Denver has to travel to Boston? Understand the vibe in Boston right now. They're thinking, man, we should have won the ring last year. How did we let Steph Curry have that Game 4 on our home court? Right? Just understand, the vibe is completely different if an out-of-sync, too well-rested Denver Nugget team has to go to Boston for Game 1. Not only that, there's paranoia in Boston, right? Because they started the Miami Heat series as badly as they did. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm grabbing Boston plus 294 here, not because I think they necessarily beat the Heat or beat the Nuggets in the finals, but simply because this is a compelling line for a team with the best net rating in the NBA, who was just in the NBA Finals and who just beat a team on the road in Game 6 in the prior series against the Philadelphia 76ers. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. As Sam Zell used to do in buying distressed real estate, you look around, you think about the odds. You think, okay, everyone here is thinking about the downside. What's the upside? You mean I win one game on the road, and suddenly I'm sitting on a home court game plus 294 odds with a team that would have home court in the NBA Finals. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.